grilled artichokes. First you want to take off the tips. They're kind of spiky, so you don't want to be eating those. So take a pair of shears, kitchen shears, and trim them down, just like we're doing right here. Take off all the edges. Use care to do so, because I'm telling you, you don't want to get stuck by these tips. They do hurt. Now here, just take a knife and just cut the top end off. You want to clean it up as good as possible, best as possible. Take care to look over it very closely and make sure that you got anything that may cause harm to your mouth. Then you want to just split it in two. You can take a paring knife. What you want to do is go right down inside of the heart of the artichoke and kind of trim out all this flowering part, this purple tip ends and the spikes that's inside of it. This is where artichoke actually gets its name, artichoke. And this right here is part of the choke, so you want to get that out of there. Doesn't taste good, and it will make you choke. Alright, so now you got that cleared off. Looking good. Now, flipping them over, doing another inspection, making sure they're very edible and ready to go into the pot. So now what we want to do here, after we're done inspecting them, making sure that everything's edible, we go ahead and get our stock ready for reduction. Dice up some onion. You want to use maybe a half an onion for your reduction. Or if you're trying to figure out what reduction is, for those who maybe don't cook a lot, it's your pot of boiling water. So this looks good right here. You go ahead and add that to the pot. Now the water in the pot is cold, so we're just adding all these ingredients to a cold pot of water. And I like to add jalapeno pepper, just to kick it up a notch. Really get those flavors popping. And then I do a half cup of salt. You can use regular iodine salt. I like to do 2 tablespoons of garlic and 2 teaspoons of pepper, black pepper. Now what you want to do is set this on the stove, add your little olive oil, and you can put a top on it and let that reduce. Let it come to a boil, and then we add in the artichokes. Now you want your water to be just as tall as the artichokes. As you see, we have it here. Now this is boiled here. You want to make sure you let it boil. After the water comes to a boil, turn it down just to a simmer and let it kind of simmer. You want to let it sit in there for about 30 to 40 minutes. And if you really want to know the telltale sign, take a pair of tongs, and just like we did there, we pull the leaf out to make sure it was tender. Now once we do that, we go ahead and take it off the stove, and we want to add it to a strainer and let that water drain off of it really good. By doing so, we get all the moisture, the excessive water. We don't need that, because it's not going to mix really good with the olive oil. And so now we brush a little olive oil on the inside of the artichoke, just to kind of protect them once we put them on the grill. And it also helps to add a little flavor because it's going to kind of fry a little bit as we cooking them on the grill. Flip them over, make sure we're getting both sides. Put a nice little glaze on the inside and outside of the artichoke. We also do the stems as well. We cook those separately though. Now, another thing we like to do is add a little salt. I use pink salt. Pink salt has a different flavor to it. It's salt still, sodium, you have to be careful with it. But it has a nice flavor. It's more like a mineral. Well, sort of like a seasoning. But nevertheless, it's definitely a different flavor. Now we just got the grill at about 375. Between 375 degrees and 400, and we set this on aluminum foil. That's the secret. You don't want to go straight on the grill because you'll lose a lot of the moisture that'll keep it from pretty much just burning up really quick. Now you see as we taking them off the grill, you have to kind of just loosen them, flip them off, and you want to just get them nice and toasted. A nice sear on the artichoke. That looks good. Now is the finished product. This is what you want it to come out looking like. And you can enjoy this. Remember, you only eat the inside part. You can eat the artichoke, the heart, and you want to eat that part out the leaf. Enjoy it.